just outside the 40. And Carlos Huerta puts it through, so the kickers have done their job so far this afternoon, and it's a 6-point game, 27-21, Montreal.
And you know, the thing that's interesting, Chris, is the fact that, you know, Don Masters is a guy who does a lot of stuff for his players. He feels if he can help you any way, he will. One of the things he talked to me about, we said, what about Beagles? What are you going to do with him now? He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send this kid, Beagles, to a kicking school. He said, another thing is, you know, Huerta's been in practice for a couple days. He's already giving Beagles kicking tips. He knows he's not here for the long haul, just for a short term. But, I mean, look at the difference already. 2 field goals, 2 opportunities, 6 points. That's all he wanted. After the Winnipeg game last week, where they had 3 opportunities and came away with 3 points on 3 missed field goals, I think that was the final straw. He needed to have somebody in a crucial game who would come up with the clutch kick.
Yeah, Beagles went 0 for 4 in the last 2 games, and it really could take the starch out of a whole team when you drive the football into scoring territory and come away empty-handed.
Well, you know, it's like you say, you want to take positive out of every opportunity, and that means points. And 1 point sometimes won't cut it.
You know, some people perceived it as a Don Matthews gamble, but when you consider what Carlos Huerta has done over his career, it seemed like money in the bank, and it has been so far today. Tyree Davis for the Alouettes. And the Burner Davis out to the 38. And Brendan Rodgers tussling with Hinsey Charles, a couple of real good special teams guys in the Canadian Football League. Still to come this afternoon, second half of our doubleheader, the Western Semi from Commonwealth, as the Edmonton Eskimos and BC Lions clash in a battle of 9-9 teams. Mark Lee, Glenn Suter, Caroline Corey will bring you all the action from Commonwealth Stadium later today. We're under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Tracy Ham's Alouettes have had the lead, but it's a precarious one at best. Pringle. And runs into Jermaine Haley as he crossed the 40 to the 42. 4 more hard yards for Mike Pringle this afternoon.
Well, I mean, this is what you have to do. Watch O'Keefe. This is a counter. Here he comes around. We talked about him. He's going to pull around, gets a nice block on Glenn Young, pancakes him. But one of the things about a counter is which way is it going? That's right. It's going east to west. It allows backside pursuit to get there, and this time they stuff it for a short gain.
Far cry from the 234 yards. He ran over Toronto in their last meeting. 2nd and 6, Ham, Davis. And Tyree Davis has the catch and a first down at the 50. Strangely enough, though, he caught that ball in front of his teammates, Jock Climbing.
Yeah, there's something definitely got to be fixed there. They should not both be in the same area. The idea is to spread the defense out, get receivers in different locales of the football field, and that time, as you say, Tyree Davis makes the catch right next to Jock Climbing.
You know, after the last series, Chris, we saw Tracy Ham go to the bench, and he had some words for his offense. It's as if he had to step up and straighten some things out. They had the lead, but they haven't been going on all cylinders. Now Pringle, left side, Glenn Young couldn't come up with the tackle, and Pringle has his second first down carry of the afternoon.
Well, we're finally starting to see the counter. We saw it the other way with Birchville and Okeke. This time we see it with 2 and Big Neil Ford coming right into your living room right here. Look at this big man. Here's 360 pounds plus. Gets a nice block on Glenn Young, who tries to go underneath him, and then the rest is Pringle, keeping his balance and fighting for every yard he possibly can.
Mike Pringle with 13 consecutive 100-yard games. It'll be a battle to make it 14 straight. He's got it again, and now cuts back. And down to the Argo 43. 4 more for Pringle. Clock running, 3:40 to go, third quarter.
And this is why you never abandon your run game. This totally just accents what Matthews said. He said, you know what, we've done a great job on him. Last time he had 234 yards, he said, but 25 times that he carried the ball, he only had 100. So he had done the job for a majority of the game. But he says the problem with Pringle is, you know he's going to break one on you, and you just hope it's not at a crucial time.
Pringle in the offense, giving the Montreal defense a break here. Second down, Ham, open receiver, Chris Armstrong. And the Ham to Armstrong connection continues to be a big plus for Montreal.
Well, he just gets inside of the linebacker, Kelly Wiltshire, finds the hole, sits down. You can see him right there. He's not going to go all the way out there. Marcelo Simmons behind him, think he's going deep. Nice job of sitting in the hole, nice catch. And of course, it all starts with good pass protection. You can see Neil Fort working on Demetrius Maxey, who's really the leader of that Toronto defense.
Alouettes marching now. First down, Toronto 28-yard line. Pringle. And he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. No problem with the handoff, and Demetrius Maxey stuffs it for a loss.
Well, just a timing thing. I think that Tracy wasn't happy with the handoff, and I mean, they kind of just were a little off key right there. They ran into each other. It's almost like he thought he was going to run in front of him or run in back of him, but you can't run into him. They'll get that situation straightened out right away.
Well, they mark it at the 29, so it's second and just over 10 yards. Here comes the rush. Ham gets it away. Wide open. Matt Cody. Touchdown. The celebration goes on in the end zone while Tracy Ham is getting attention after delivering the football, and Ham slowly to his feet.
Well, nice job of Tracy Ham of reading the coverage. It's a cover zero. The safety's coming on a blitz. What happens then is nobody's in the middle. Matt Cody takes it up, breaks it into the inside. There you see he's got Marcelo Simmons beat. Nice throw and a touchdown, big play. But again, it all boils down to the fact that Tracy recognized the coverage and threw it where it had to go.
Anthony Calvillo starts to warm up as again Tracy Ham is on the limp. Dave Ritchie said he's been hurt since day 2 of training camp, and that nagging knee injury has kept him out of 5 games this season, and there's cause for concern despite a big touchdown for the Alouettes with 1:42 to go in this third quarter. A 34-21 Montreal lead. Well, Tracy Ham still in discomfort at the bench, but vintage Ham reminds me a lot of his performance in '95 when he led Baltimore to the Grey Cup.
Vintage veteran play, savvy. There's Mike O'Shea coming, number 50. Wiltshire's coming. Look at right here. That guy there is the safety, Lester Smith. He's coming on a blitz, on cover zero blitz. What happens then is there's no safety in the deep part of the field. Cody sees it. Tracy Ham sees it. Those are the 2 guys you want. Cody breaks it into the middle. Touchdown.
29-yard touchdown pass to Matt Cody. They fake the reverse, and Tony Smith is upended by Bruno Heppel at the 29-yard line.
And a nice job of Bruno Heppel not to go with the fake reverse. One of the things they stress on special teams is stay in your lanes as you're covering. Don't get fooled by anything like that, because if you pull over to one way, you're going to create an opening. Nice job. You see Tracy Ham, just as he lets that go, trying to get his balance. Michael Shea, of course, with the momentum, just pushes him back, and his knee catches the turf again as he's trying to step back, and it buckles a little bit.
It's an uphill climb for the Argos again. Over the middle, wide open, and there's Mitchell crashing across midfield into Montreal territory.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, anytime you got guys with these kind of weapons, I mean, Toronto can come back in a hurry. This is just smart play. This is predetermined. He's looking for him. He sees it coming wide open right now, right down the seam. Wide open, gets the ball, and again, it's what he does after he catches it, turns it up for more positive yards. Right away, they're in Montreal territory.
That's his biggest gain of the day, 28 yards.
Big yards, 78 yards after the catch. That's the big thing.
First down, Argos. Here's Nigel Williams with the catch. Tracy Gravely pulls him down, but back-to-back first downs in the final minute of the third quarter.
Now, you know, Chris, what they do, which is really interesting, is they do the hitch pass where they bring Mitchell in for that ball and he runs it. But they can do it with any players. I mean, he gets great pass protection right here. He throws it out. Instead of Mitchell this time, though, it's Nigel Williams. getting all your people involved in the game. It allows you to be successful as an offense.
Williams lives here in the offseason in Kirkland. And makes the catch to get the Argos a little closer, but now Bell in some trouble rolling right. Alfred Payton bearing down, and Bell has to throw it into the turf. Now the fans want a intentionally grounding penalty, but again, that's the rule. He got the ball beyond the line of scrimmage.
Well, they want exactly what happened when Tracy Ham threw the football, and they said he didn't throw it over the line of scrimmage and got flagged for intentional grounding. They were trying to do the same thing with Kerwin Bell, but that's what you expect out of your home crowd. You want them to boo every time. That's why they're the 13th man.
We're through 45 minutes of the Eastern semifinal, and the Alouette fans have a lot to cheer about. Anthony Calvillo continues to limber up. It looks like he'll be coming in for Tracy Ham, who just left, along with the medical staff, headed to the Alouette dressing room, and all signs on the bench indicated his afternoon was done.
Well, and you can see him limping off there right now, and if there's any chance, they're not. One of the things you've got to respect in an organization is not put your player in a situation where you jeopardize not only, you know, his career, but his health. So just take a look at this. Let's get him in there and look at it right now. As we can see, the first half or the three-quarter stat mark right now. And we can see what's really surprising is the 258 yards passing by the Alouettes versus the 210 for Toronto. 75 yards rushing for Montreal, but all in all, Toronto's done a very good job of keeping Mike Pringle in check.
2nd and 10. Kerwin Bell dropped the football. Alfred Payton's got it. The third turnover of the game for the Argos, and Montreal comes up with the football.
Well, this is a heartbreaker. The biggest thing that really surprises me is it is the third time that he's dropped the football. One was not his fault. It was a bad snap. He couldn't get a handle on it. But 2 times, one when he was sacked by Swiftburg, this time again, put to the ground, but he drops the football. This is not characteristic of Kerwin Bell. He doesn't have a history of dropping or fumbling the football, but he's done it at crucial times today.
Only Edmonton and Winnipeg turned the ball over more than Toronto. It has cost them all season, and that is an enormous turnover in the opening minute of the 4th quarter. And it puts the ball back in Montreal's offensive hands with Anthony Calvillo at the controls. Why not give it to Mike Pringle? Up to the 46. Pringle gets 3 more. Glenn Young has been hanging off him all day. Jermaine Haley also in on the tackle.
Well, a nice job of the defensive lineman stuffing the lead block. They're trying to pull. Brian Chu has got to get the big block to allow Neil Fort to read him. Chu gets stuffed, makes Mike Pringle turn it up, limit the game.
2nd and 8 for Calvillo and the Alouettes, and he fires, and that one went through. Chris Armstrong incomplete. And we'll join Steve Armitage.
We can tell you this much about Tracy Ham. As you know, he is in the Alouettes dressing room being looked at by the doctors, and the word is a bruised kneecap. Chris, you know how rough that can be on a quarterback. Any athlete, bruised kneecap can be very, very painful.
Well, he has been nursing a bad knee all season long. We wondered why he didn't get the start on Thanksgiving, and Dave Ritchie's just been trying to extend his season into the playoffs and keep him as healthy as possible.
Well, that was one of the reasons that he rested him last week and allowed Anthony Calvillo to play against Hamilton. And Anthony did a really good job last week, so he's had some playing time, and he's got some confidence coming to this game. So it's not like you're playing with somebody who hasn't seen the football field for a while. And that's a big plus for the Montreal Alouettes.
Right now, get a 28-point winter checkup, plus oil, lube, and filter, tire rotation, and a free jug of washer fluid, all for just $29.95. Only at Canadian Tire.
Well, there's still plenty of time left. 13:38. Dave Ritchie's team holding a 13-point advantage. There's Kevin Mason, who is number 4 on the depth chart in the quarterback department for the Alouettes, to Dave Ritchie's side. Right now, Anthony Calvillo is The number 1 guy with Ham in the room, and Kerwin Bell and the Argos now going to work after a 51-yard punt. And there's a ball jarred loose out of the hands of Darryl Mitchell by Harold Nash. I'm going to say Terry Baker delivered a great punt there to drive Toronto back.
It was an excellent punt by Terry Baker. Great coverage by the coverage team of the Alouettes. And they just, Toronto, Kerwin Bell said, hey, we were successful with this play earlier. Just going to try and hit him on the fly. Last time he made the catch, turned into a big game. This time he caught the ball just as he was trying to pull it in. As you say, Harold Nash with a good hit, dislocating the ball from his body.
Now Nash got a start last week on the corner against Hamilton when Douglas Kraft was out, and he's done a good job replacing the injured Irv Smith here. And Tracy Gravely gets to Kerwin Bell.
Well, just a nice job of mixing your defense up. Don't give Kerwin Bell the same look time and time again. That will confuse them. What they did this time, they just bring Tracy Hamley off the corner on a blitz. He comes around, nobody picks him up. As Kerwin's setting to deliver the football, you can see he's going to set, just ready to throw the football. Tracy Gravely comes from the outside. Nice job of sacking him.
Well, Tracy Gravely, a 96 All-Canadian who led the CFL in tackles that year. And a finalist for the top defensive player in the Canadian Football League. And this Montreal defense starting to assert itself. Here's Davis on the Argos side of half, and Michael O'Shea drills him right where he caught the football. 33-yard punt. He's back. Tracy Ham out of the dressing room and back onto the field. He missed 1 series, and that's all.
And that just gives you such an emotional lift as a team when you see your leader playing hurt, but not refusing to throw the towel and staying in there. You just got to love that.
First down, Montreal. The fake to Pringle, and Donald Smith has Tyree Davis way behind the line of scrimmage back at midfield. Good play by the All-Canadian corner, Donald Smith.
You don't get to mention Donald Smith's name very much in a broadcast. He is a very good cornerback, and a lot of quarterbacks in the league refuse to even throw in his direction, much like Lester Brown when he played with Hamilton. They respect him that much. Very smart, studies plays, studies people, and he rarely makes a mistake.
Had an interesting comment before the game. He said of his team's difficulties, we either start to play through the adversity or we'll just lay down. Well, they've been playing through it today, but it's been an uphill battle. Ham behind Matt Cody, incomplete. And it will be 3rd down, and the Argo rush was testing Tracy Ham's knee and his ability to escape the rush.
Well, Jermaine Haley finally came through, and I say that originally he had a lot of protection. I thought the offensive line gave him a pretty good time to throw the football. But what you see, though, is second effort by Jermaine Haley to finally come in there. This Cody trying to come in the middle, trying to find an opening right there. Ball just thrown a little bit behind him. But the protection from the beginning was good. You can see McIntosh, you can see Young trying to come on a blitz. They got them all stimmied up there, but Jermaine Haley keeps working, finally gets enough pressure to force Tracy to throw the football.
Tracy, or Terry Baker's recovered from that 6-yard punt in the first half. This one end over end, but gets an Alouette bounce to Adrian Smith. And Smith out at the 20. And Stephon Reed had to be nimble to get over the signs and not do any damage.
And a nice job of the Argonauts punt return team of setting up a wall and allowing Adrian Smith to get to the outside to pick up extra yards. He picked up a good 12 yards on that return.
Let's join Steve quickly.
Tonight on CBC television, it's Emily of New Moon. Then a star-studded cast performs the Beatles' hits In My Life, George Martin. And singing her greatest hits, Canada's Joni Mitchell takes center stage here on CBC.
That's all coming up after the second half of our doubleheader. Edmonton and BC still to come from Commonwealth. Kerwin Bell just got it away. There's pinball, and he is drilled. Stephon Reed stepped up after the initial contact by Tom Europe. David Archer starting to loosen up at Commonwealth Stadium. after an impressive outing last week in his final regular season game, and he's just glad the regular season's over.
Well, that's what they say. You know, the postseason, the new season, he had a great game to end the season. That's what you want to have. He threw for 4 touchdowns. As a team, collectively, they rallied behind him, and that's what you really want to do, is have a solid unit, a solid effort out there.
Tracy Ham's old running mate, Damon Allen, ready to butt heads with the Eskimos. Here's Mitchell. Crossing pattern again, and he got a first down. And Daryl Mitchell is out of bounds at the 37-yard line. That's his 12th catch of the afternoon.
Well, he's gone through this time and time again. He just comes. I mean, we talk about it. Until they can figure a way to bump him, to keep him from coming across, you can see the defender slips. That even gives him more opportunity to catch the football in the open. And then there's a race, and he's pointing. He's trying to get one block. He feels that if he can get that one block, he can take it down the sideline.
You know, Chris, we got to say something about the Argo defense here, because Montreal had the ball starting in Toronto territory. They turned it back after 2 plays, and now gives Toronto a chance here to get back in the game. Bell throwing outside, and it's a catch for Paul Mazzotti.
Paul Mazzotti and the sideline. Again, always by the sideline, always finding the opening, knowing where to stop, knowing where to come back to the football. Makes a nice catch in coverage. Protection is excellent. You got the offensive line giving Kerwin Bell the time to throw. You can see Willie, there's Dwayne Morgan doing a nice job of not only pass blocking Alfred Payton, but throwing him to the ground just to accent the point.
1st and 10, 9:35 to go, 13-point lead for Montreal, and Daryl Mitchell has the ball on another crossing pattern to the 42 of the Alouettes, and Tom Europe, the safety, brings him down.
Well, one of the things, you know, they got lucky the last time. They brought Tracy Gravely on the blitz, trying to disrupt Kerwin Bell's rhythm. Now, if you're going to bring them and they get picked up, you got to have some openings in there right now. He's just going underneath the linebackers, or underneath the DBs, behind the linebackers, finding a nice opening on out. And they're going to have to either bump him off the line of scrimmage, or they can't let him run that free.
17 yards that time for Mitchell. Argos moving the football. There's Pinball, unable to bring that in. Looked like Pinball slipped when he made his cut and had trouble adjusting to the ball. And again, he has been on the limp.
Well, we talked about the intensity. It's going to be one in the trenches. You can see again, there he is. He's trying to go high. He can't get in there. That's 2 in a row.
Alfred with 7 knockdowns during the regular season in support of his 16 sacks, which was second in the Canadian Football League behind Joe Montford. 2nd and 10, a big play for the Toronto Argonauts. Bell looked one way and then the other, and incomplete. Looking for Nigel Williams, who felt he was interfered with by Torrey Hunter. And Nigel Williams shows his displeasure with the non-call.
Well, you can't lose your composure out there in this big of a game right now. Don't take an objectionable conduct penalty. Don't blow it. He's upset with the coverage. He's just going to come off the line. It's almost going to do Ala Mitchell come across the middle. Just going to come inside. The ball is thrown to him, but good coverage on the play by Torrey Hunter.
And Carlos Huerta in to attempt a 48-yard field goal. The lead is 13.